Hello fellow YouTubers. Today we're going to look at two Johnson motors. That 6 horsepower right there, that'll be in another video in my channel. I'm going to start that up and make a video of it today also, but this video is strictly on these motors. I'll talk a little bit about that one, but go check my channel out to see that one. The video will be uploaded today. So I got this motor and that motor for 150 bucks, both of them. This one ran, but I was told that it overheated, it wasn't pumping water. I messed with the water pump a whole bunch and never got it to pump. Turned out the head gasket was blowing, so I made a new one. I was putting compression in the water jacket, and it was so much compression in the water jacket, the water pump couldn't keep up. So I got a brand new hose with them. That tank came with this motor. So 150 bucks I got this motor, that motor. This is a 1970, that's a 1977. This is points ignition, that's CDI ignition. Both covers. The reason this head is white is because it's off of this motor. Excuse me for the wind though, sorry about that. Reason being is somebody stripped the threads out on this. So I'm possibly going to get a new head for this motor. The reason the guy put this head on the other motor is because this one needs a propeller. And it needs a spring that the recoil runs on. This thing is supposed to come up like this one. I'm trying to keep you away from the wind, but you can see somebody's jerry-rigged quite a bit of things on here. That's supposed to be a roll pin, and that's not supposed to be threaded rod. This is the throttle on these motors. Let's look at this part here. This throttle, if you need to adjust your throttle, it's that flathead screw right there, if you can see it. Right there. You tighten that thing down and it'll stiffen your throttle. If you loosen it, it'll make your throttle easier to move. I had to stiffen it a little. So the propeller's good on this one. Like I said, brand new hose. This came from a different motor I have parted out, but here's the head gasket that was on it that was blown. Somebody put silicone all over it. You can see that. Here's the head gasket off the other motor, but it's broken in the middle. Here's the ignition coils for that CDI motor. I'm probably going to get that running sometime this fall and sell it next summer, maybe. So that's the bin of parts. We got the 77 top cover and the 70 top cover. This is a weedless. We call it weedless because the weeds run down and the propeller is more of an angle to blow them down to the ground. Where here you just got a right angle. That's what that's called, a right angle. Really windy. That's the water jacket. If you can see, it goes in. I drilled a hole right here on the other motor, right there, threaded it, and added a brass elbow. So I now have a telltale. And then I just put a roll pin in this fitting, to slow the water flow down a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and start the motors up. Gee, I'm sorry for the wind, it's really windy, but let's take a quick look at the pistons go up and down on this motor. So I'm going to go ahead and get this hose out of here, and I'll catch you back later. Also, if you want to look at a mod on how to do a telltale motor, go check my channel. I'll have a video of that up soon too. So I'm going to get this motor out and get that motor in the water and start it up. Be right back. The telltale works good. if I can do this again. I did this last night. I did not use the pull starter to start that motor. That's amazing. Watch. Do it again. I gotta get started up again with the pull starter. Okay, now I should be able to get her. I don't know why it did that. It's done that a couple times. I'm gonna have to look at that. I think the propeller is loose or something. Huh. Alright, well, that's the end of this video. I'm gonna look into that. Sometimes it acts like it's in neutral. I don't think there's a clutch on this motor. At least I don't see a clutch lever anywhere. So, alright, that's the 4 horsepower Johnson I got for 150 bucks. Hopefully it works good. If it doesn't, I'm gonna have to put the head and stuff on that motor. Alright, thanks for watching. Found the problem here. You can see I can turn the propeller, and if you watch, I don't know how well you can see that, the nut is not turning. So the shear pin either sheared, or looks to me like the rubber in there is sheared or something. And I think what caused that is, you can see these bolts, this piece came off and it got wedged in between here and here when I was running it in the barrel. So I had to replace these bolts on here, but I think it got wedged in there and halfway sheared the shear pin. And when we were just running it there, it sheared it the rest of the way. But you can see I'm turning the propeller freely and the shaft is not turning. So that's a good sign that the gearbox is good and tight. I can turn this shaft back and forth a little bit. If I turn the motor, I'm sure the propeller just from friction, but you can see I'm turning the middle shaft. So I'm going to take that nut out and look at what happened. I found somebody, or Johnson, put an extra shear pin on the choke up here. I wonder if that's original or if somebody put that there, but it's on like a little rubber band. So if I need that, I'll use that. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll go ahead and put the hood on it, just for a quick show. There you go, my 400 horsepower Johnson. Well, I just figured I'd show you what happened quick. The very last time I ran this motor was when that broke off. I just shut off, fixed that, and then I was done. So I think the shear pin was halfway sheared, but if you can see, that's a piece of it right there. The other piece, I think, fell on the ground when I took this out. Nope, it's still in there. But I think what the biggest problem was is I cranked that down too tight. You don't want that tight. You want that like finger tight, but I tightened it down just the next notch or two with the wrench. And what that did is it bent the things back and it weakened them. And then when it hit that, it weakened it even more. And then when I just started it up, it finally snapped it loose. So, it didn't snap it loose, but it revved up. And it's revved up several times, so I think the pieces that, like that one that were broken off in there, were kind of binding up in there somehow, and it would work again for a little bit. So anyways, I'm going to take this Allen wrench and this hammer, and I'm going to pound that back through and put it back together, and it'll work good again. So, alright, thanks for watching. Subscribe, this button down there, hit subscribe, and you'll be able to watch all my videos. There'll be a lot more boating videos to come this summer, so stay tuned.